All right. So, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Just going to invite you to settle into your seat. And what we're going to work on a little bit today is the idea that, yes, we're a body and we're a lot of other things. And in fact, Kundalini Yoga tells us that we're actually 10 bodies. And then Hatha Yoga tells us that we have 5 sheets, 5 sets of clothing that kind of incorporate the 10 bodies of Kundalini Yoga. So we're going to play with that concept a little bit and look at all the different moving parts that make up our human experience on this earth, because that's what this is. It's a human experience. You know, I used to say I'm a human being, and I am a human being. I'm a human being, an actor in a play, but I'm really a spirit experiencing a human existence. And so when I learned about the 10 bodies in my training, I was really fascinated at the concept of it. And I had already visited it in the koshas in my hatha training. And, you know, there's this complexity to the truth of who we are. And when I first began my yoga journey, I really was connected to the human world, to the human experience. And even though I kind of had a concept that that human outer physical experience is fed by that inner spiritual experience, I didn't quite understand it. As I started diving into the different aspects of what makes up this human path for me, it made more and more sense. I'm not this solid human body and that's it. It's this one unit. Right there, I get to have fear and love. I get to be this amazing, compassionate human being, and every once in a while have this thought of you're an asshole. I get to have all of that, and I'm supposed to have all of that. This human journey is such a evolving experience. We're supposed to evolve. We're not supposed to stay stuck. And somewhere along the line, I think that fear got interwoven into the process of evolution, and that somehow change became intertwined with loss, right? And so the more we explore the different subtle parts of us and the energy that makes us who we are and the energy that connects us to everyone, no matter what form they are in, the more that I connect to that, the easier it is for me to move through feelings of loss and grief when things evolve and to dive into the juice and the beauty of what is coming now, what is coming next, right? So it's a loss in the sense that things change, but those memories, those experiences, those relationships, they stay alive inside of me, right? There is this energy that moves through me, and there's so much that I carry with me. And it's not those burdens, that backpack of old crap that I carry on my back sometimes that I forget to let go of. It's not that. It's this energy that makes us who we are. Every interaction I have ever had with anyone in my life, whether they are still here in physical body or not, they have made a part of who I am today, what my experience is of this world. Right? So think about that. So many different moving pieces. So close your eyes and just settle into your seat. Find your breath. Really just observing your breath, letting it flow, coming and going. We don't grasp at our breath because we trust on some level that it's going to be there in the next second. We let it come and we let it go. What if we lived our lives? What if we let everything come and go like that? So really connect to your breath. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about those 10 bodies before we start to experience them. The very first body is the soul body. And it's that piece of the infinite that lives in the core of us. The piece of us who never, ever, ever forgot what it was, what it is, what it always will be. And then we have 3 mental bodies. There's the negative mind, which is kind of the protector. The positive mind, which it's expansive, it's filled with the possibility. So it's kind of the creator. And then there's this beautiful, enlightened, neutral mind. It's not connected to the emotion so much, but more to the intuition. And that neutral mind is what allows us to experience that process of evolution, to greet things that are new and unknown and mysterious with this energy of come, let me see, let me get to know you. And then we have this beautiful physical body that houses our soul, that houses all of this. It's like our sheet of clothing. We have something called the arc line, which is very closely connected to our aura. The arc line it's our halo, basically. Women have a second arc line, right, going from basically nipple to nipple. And the auric field is our electromagnetic field, the seventh body that projects out from us. It calls to us the same energy that we're projecting. That's why they say when you want something, don't focus on the fear of not having it. Focus on what it is that you want. Let that energy grow. Express gratitude for that which you want before it even gets here. And then watch it come to you like a magnet. Then the eighth body is the pranic body, and it's the vital energy. It's what you do when you connect to that flow of breath. Right? The breath brings the prana in and out. So that's the pranic body. Then the subtle body is that ability to sense the infinite, that part of us, that interconnected web. And the radiant body, the 10th body, it's the deepest connection to our spiritual values. It's that part of us that allows the soul to express itself into this human world. We radiate that energy. That's why angels are always depicted glowing, radiating. And then the idea of embodiment of all of these 10 bodies, when we're conscious and we're working with them, we're co-creating with all of these 10 bodies, then that's known as embodiment. It's being in this physical body and using all the tools of all the other bodies to experience this life. So really, really, really beautiful. Breathe in and out a few more times, nice, deeply. Experiencing every one of those 10 bodies. Feel yourself as layers and layers and layers of pure love. Then inhale your hands together at your heart. We'll open Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale deeply. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Pause, allowing that energy to vibrate through every one of those 10 beautiful layers. Maybe in your mind, picturing yourself, seeing the vibrating outlines of each of those layers. Your wisdom rising through each and every one in balance equally. And moving directly into our next chant, a chant of protection from the vrittis, from those stories that our mind loves to tell us. Ad Gare Name 3 times together. Ad Gure Name, Jugad Gure Name, Sad Gure Name, Sri Guru Deve Name, Ad Gure Name, Jugad Gure Name, Sad Gure Name, Sri Guru Deve Name, Ad Gure Name, Jugad Gure Name, Sad Gure Name, Sri Guru Deve Name. Pause to receive. Experience the energy of expansiveness as every one of those bodies opens to allow this vibrational frequency, peace and truth and protection to permeate every layer. Feeling a sense of wholeness, maybe. There's a beautiful balance, moves you into this moment with a heart filled with peace, mind maybe a little more still. Take a deep, deep inhale as we bring that prayer up overhead, squeezing everything up. The pelvic floor, the navel center, everything moves up, up, up. Exhale slowly, moving through that auric field. Maybe this time being so aware as your fingers move slowly through your aura of the presence, the energy of those other beautiful bodies. Maybe you can hear the chatter of the negative mind going, oh, move slower, be careful. And the positive mind going, there's so much out there. Do it all, try it all. And that neutral mind just saying, I love this moment exactly as it is. Let your fingers touch the earth. Pause. Again, receiving that energy of foundation, holding and nurturing. And then bringing your hands to your navel center, one on top of the other, doesn't matter which one is first. Elbows out to the sides, round your lips, and begin cannon breath here. Inhaling, exhaling through that rounded mouth, breath of fire through a rounded mouth. Just keep going. Keep going. I love this breath this time of year because we fire up that navel energy, that energy we need to move through that kapha energy that we are surrounded by right now, but also there's a coolness to it. Right? So feeling that coolness in your mouth as your navel center fires up, breaking through any barriers that stand in the way of those 10 bodies, working together, dancing together, flowing together. Maybe feeling some cobwebs in your mind beginning to clear away a bit. letting the rest of your body relax so thoroughly as the breath moves the chest and the belly. Feeling the horizon of your day becoming bigger and bigger, more and more possibility. As the soul body, that spark of the infinite, really begins to emerge from the heart. Every breath in and out reminding you of how connected you are to that place of mystery, of mastery, of great humanity, the vast origin of the creation, what we came from, what we'll go back to, and what we never really left. Take a deep inhale. Hold that breath in. Let the heart rise up, floating on the breath. And then gently exhale, letting everything settle down, eyes closed. Taking it all in. Slowly begin to make circles, big circles with your chin in front of you. So neck rolls, but letting your head really drop back and letting your chin really drop forward as you make the biggest circles you can, as though your chin were this giant pencil just drawing circles in front of you. It's said that when your soul body is in balance with the other 9 bodies, then it's so easy to allow the heart to lead, right? Heart overhead. The heart and the head begin to kind of intertwine, go in the other direction the next time your chin touches the chest. And so instead of there always being this battle between following the heart and following the head, all of a sudden there is this cooperation between the heart and the head. The heart and the head seem to be on the same page more and more as we come into balance in all of these 10 bodies. The more we connect consciously to the greater consciousness and open our hearts to the divine, the easier it is for these bodies to come into alignment. The next time you come to center, stay there. You're going to take your hands into bear grip in front of you, so the fingers are going to curl into each other, one thumb up, one thumb down. And you're going to move up, down, open, grip. Up, down, open, grip. Up, down, open, grip. And just keep going. Feeling that balance now as you're opening that heart energy, that soul energy, and you're sending it to the realms of the mental bodies, and also the arc line, the auric field, consciously merging and marrying and dancing those beautiful bodies together. Maybe sensing the energy of the mental bodies, that negative mind, the protective mind, always looking out for us. When it can dance with the positive mind, then we're cautious, but we're not stuck. We don't miss out because our mind has created this really huge, crazy story about why we need to stay safe, tucked away in our little cave. The next time you find yourself gripping, stop there. Just pull as hard as you can as your heart moves forward. Elbows moving toward opposite sides of the room, heart moving forward, fingers connecting, supporting each other. And then relax everything down to your knees, hands to the knees, letting your shoulders move toward the floor as they relax. Maybe moving your neck from side to side a couple times to relax any tension that may have built up in that last exercise. From here, let your legs come out long. Place your hands on the floor to the sides and slightly behind you. Bend your knees, plant your feet. And then slowly begin to roll back onto your sit bones, bringing your knees into your chest, coming into a half boat pose with your hands supporting you, though, on the floor. And then see if you can straighten your legs and then bring them back in a couple of times. Connecting to that physical strength in the physical body. And then as you come to stillness, you can plant your feet and roll back onto your back. If you have a couple of blocks, you can have them nearby. We're going to move into a little set to awaken the 10 bodies. So we're going to start with a pose that I think a lot of us have a love-hate relationship with, stretch pose, but we're going to do it for a very short period of time. If it's really not good for your belly, for your body to hover and stretch pose, you can put blocks under your feet, because in Kundalini, the angles are very, very important, more important than having to overcompensate with effort. So you can have 2 blocks, one under each ankle if you'd like. Your arms are going to be at your sides, your legs straight or up on those blocks. First, allow yourself to fully surrender to the floor, to the gravity. To become really conscious of the support beneath you. And then think about the role that gravity plays. We don't think about gravity much, but without it, we would have no foundation. We would have no connection. So a little shot of gratitude for gravity. Then take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, lift your head, your shoulders, your hands up a little bit. Reach toward those toes. If your feet are not on blocks, lift them up just a little bit, maybe 6 inches off the ground. Breath of fire, 20 seconds. Inhale deeply, hover for another moment. Hold, squeeze everything. Exhale, relax down. Take a 1-minute Shavasana, letting every single part of your body rest and relax. Surrendering to gravity, surrendering into the arms of Mother Earth. So when that negative mind is in balance, what it does is it gives discernment to the soul body. It gives discernment. It allows us to own our yes and own our no. Right? To set the boundaries that we are supposed to set in this lifetime. Not out of fear, but because it's what we need to do. Kind of what we were talking about earlier. About not going out to dinner just because there's open space on the calendar if it doesn't feel right. And then the positive mind comes in, offering its expansion, its elevation, its enthusiasm, right? It's trust and it's hope. And the marrying of those energies, along with the discernment of the negative mind, allows us to make really good decisions, to be really aware of what our dharmic path is. Take another deep breath here. And then inhale your nose towards your knees towards your nose, bringing the knees into the chest. 30 seconds, breath of fire here. Really pumping that navel energy, bringing all of these bodies into play, into balance. As we strengthen our navel point, we strengthen the energy of the positive mind. Inhale deeply, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze up into a ball. Exhale, relax. Keep your knees into your chest though. Maybe roll around a little bit, side to side, back and forth. And then roll up to a seat. And the next few exercises will be seated, so you can put a little blanket underneath you if you'd like. And then once you get there, we're going to bring our arms up to the sky, thumbs back, the other fingers curled into the palm. We're going to do a little ego eradicator. So before we begin, just take a moment to acknowledge the value of the ego, right? We need to have that ego. So we're not getting rid of the ego, we're getting rid of the false ego. We're eradicating the false beliefs about the ego. The ego is a tool just like the mind. Take a deep breath in. Exhale completely. Begin breath of fire, pumping that navel. Eyes closed, rolled up to the third eye. Those fingers moving into the pads, but don't grip them. Let your body be relaxed. Feel the strength of your shoulders, your arms rising up from those shoulder sockets. First plugging in and then rising up. 1 minute here. The neutral body, the neutral mind, is known as the meditative mind. Right? It doesn't argue whether it's full or empty. It just appreciates wherever it is at any given moment. It acknowledges that just the gift of existence is absolutely amazing. It doesn't judge everything as good or bad or right or wrong. It accepts the discernment of the negative mind and the enthusiasm of the positive mind. And it dances with that energy and deep appreciation for everything exactly as it is. And from that place, ironically, when we can embrace everything exactly as it is, as not good or bad, that is the place where we can move into change. Until we reach that place of appreciation and acceptance, we can't let go of the things that we think we want to let go of. Take a deep breath in, squeeze everything up, let the thumbs come together. All the other fingers reaching up toward the sky, spread and tense. Pull everything up, up, up. Let those palms come together. Exhale, relaxing everything. Hands to the heart center, eyes closed. Taking it all in. Gratitude for this moment and every single thing that exists within this moment. The things we labeled good, the things we labeled bad. Let those labels dissolve. Watch them in your mind melt away as we try to move into the energy of pure gratitude for this moment exactly as it is. And opening your eyes, bring your legs out to a V, nice and wide. I'm going to inhale your arms up to the sky, really reach up. Twist to the left, bow down. Come on back up, arms up, twist to the right, bow down and reach. Come on up and keep going. Find your pace, eyes closed. Fall into a rhythm. The physical body, the fifth body, allow it to do this dance for you. Allow it to fall into a rhythm. The physical body is such a sacred, sacred temple. It really is. Without it, we would not be able to have a place to house the soul, to allow the energies of enlightenment and service and humanity to move through us. It creates the space where all of this can be gathered together. It condenses us into this solid, lower vibrational form that allows us to experience things that the more subtle, higher vibrational bodies would never be able to experience. Right? If we didn't know grief, we wouldn't know joy or love. Right? If there wasn't some upheaval, we wouldn't know peace. We wouldn't realize how amazing peace is. This physical body allows us to be the teacher and the student. And it allows us to laugh and hug and roll down hills, feel the sun on our skin. It lets us take things that are so abstract and bring them into a form that makes sense. Because the subtle bodies don't care about making sense. Everything already makes sense. But our minds, our lower minds, the manas, they really want to understand. The next time that you move to your right, lift up and stay. And then exhale midline, right down the middle, all the way down to the floor. Pause here, breathe and feel. Come on up. Reach for your big toes or your ankles or your knees. Let your hands stay there. And you're just going to slide down and up, down and up. It could be a very subtle movement. Really bowing to your own heart, to your own wisdom. Feeling the energy of intuition, the realm of the arc line, move you. The arc line is associated with our halo. It extends from ear to ear, across the hairline and the brow. It's the nucleus of the aura. It's the avenue through which intuition moves. It governs glandular balance, particularly the pituitary gland, but all glandular balance, the nervous system reacts to the arc line. And then women have a second arc line from chest, nipple to nipple, very sensitive, very protective, very perceptive. So mother's intuition, women's intuition, right? And that intuition is all about justice, integrity, the ability to really, really, really trust that which comes to us. It might not make logical sense, those solutions. The next time that you come up, stay up, release the toes, the knees, whatever, come nice and straight. Bring the soles of your feet toward each other as you move into Baddha Konasana. And close your eyes and just rest for a moment. Move your feet into easy sitting pose and begin spinal flexes, holding on to the ankles. Hold on to the ankles, move that heart forward and back. Remembering that the neck is an extension of the spine, so let it move and sway along with the rest of the spine. Not flip-flopping from side to side. You guys look awesome. Simple, subtle exercises that wake up all of these bodies, that bring them to the same point of power. Sometimes when we go into meditation or we begin yoga, we talk about bringing our body, our minds, and our breath all into the same place. We do these exercises, we're bringing all of those 10 bodies into the same place. Everything is arriving here now. As you continue to spinal flex, imagine your third eye being the guide, the lead. Maybe a point of light moving from your third eye up and down, like a laser beam cutting through anything that is preventing the merging and the melding and the dancing. These beautiful bodies. The seventh body, the auric field. That sense of you that projects around you, that interacts with the other auric fields it encounters. Life force energy. It's said to extend up to 9 feet beyond the physical body. Right? So it precedes you into any conversation, any room, any interaction. Come to stillness. Make your way onto your knees, sitting on your heels. If that's very uncomfortable for you, you can put a blanket between your knees, or you can stay in easy sitting pose, or even sit up on a bolster between your knees. Once you get there, you're going to place your hands on your knees and begin spinal flexes again. Feeling a little different with your hands and your body in a different position. Notice the differences. Notice the subtle nuances as we shift. Energetically, that's what happens when these 10 bodies, when they take the reins, when it's time for maybe that soul body to peek its head, or for the positive mind to interject a little bit, the arc line to bring intuition to any circumstance. Little nuances of shift of energy. The pranic body, the eighth body. It's that subtle spark of life. It's what animates us. It's that thing that no scientist, no religion, no one can really explain. What is it that animates us? It's our pranic energy, the pranic body, that spark of life. It's our self-initiation to the right to exist in this world, in this physical form. It makes us fearless when we really step into it, when we really become fully alive. We're unshakable when our true belief in our right to exist, that spark of life, is balanced. We are unshakable, unstoppable. We're in that place where disaster strikes and we look at it and say, okay, this too is part of my path. This too is love. It's that part of us that brings the finite to the point of infinity. When we begin to realize that there's so much more than that ceiling that our physical mind or our physical body has placed on our existence. Come to stillness. Let your hands move to your shoulders and just begin to twist from side to side. Elbows stay parallel to the floor. The head moves with the rest of the spine side to side. The ninth body, the subtle body, it's that subtle perception, the ability to really sense the infinite, the universal reality within the material, the physical world. It's that place where the Akashic records are said to exist, right? The non-physical imprint of all our experiences, not only in this lifetime, in all lifetimes. It's that place where we are calm and insightful. It's that all-knowing place of peace. Being that mountain, Tadasana, that mountain, regardless of what's blowing around us, what's pouring down on us, that subtle place of calm, pure, pure, pure energy. It's our mastery over mystery. It's our excitement to dive into the unknown. Bring yourself to center. You're going to let those hands slide from the shoulders to your back. Your elbows are going to be pointing up. And you're just going to begin to bring them up and down, up and down, up and down. Just for a few minutes, not for a few minutes, I'm sorry, for 1 minute here. If your shoulders are tight like mine tend to be, this might not feel great. So make sure that you're taking good care of yourself as you're moving. Move at a pace that feels good. Just a minute here. And the 10th body, the radiant body, it's our spiritual royalty, it's our radiance, it's our courage. It allows us to move in the direction that our heart is taking us, regardless of any obstacles. It's a part of us that no longer avoids every conflict. Inhale those arms up and just shake them out. Let everything go. Then you're going to interlace your hands together, Venus lock in front of you, and you're just going to simply inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down. Letting your body relax. When the radiant body is balanced, then any shyness, any fear of putting ourselves out there begins to lessen. And the confidence in the gifts that we came here to offer grows. It's not easy to put ourselves out and say, I know that this is what I'm supposed to offer the world, and to not worry about how it's received, right? So often we have to figure out how something's going to be received before we're willing to offer it. No, when these bodies, the radiant body, but all the bodies are in balance, we just show up, right? Build it and they will come. We stop trying to figure out who they are and we just show up. Put your hands relax in your lap. And if you're on your knees, come to easy pose. Just begin alternate shoulder shrugs here, one shoulder up and then the other. Nice and gentle. Really letting that shoulder drop, releasing any tension. Kind of shrugging the weight of the world off of your shoulders, giving it up. When we move into that energy of embodiment, when all 10 bodies are balanced, and this is what represents the sound current, the nod that's talked about in Kundalini Yoga. It's vibrational basis of all existence, right? The Big Bang, where they say made this earth, this physical form. It's embodiment. It's everything coming together. It's divine vision. It's truth. It's the absence of duality. This beautiful, tranquil place of peace, place that I think most of nature, there's things in nature that are blessed not to have a brain to get in the way, reside. And then let your shoulders come to stillness as you slowly just begin to turn your head from side to side. The breath is gentle. Letting your breath move. And come to center. I'm going to give you two choices here. One last exercise before we move on to our backs. It's going to be frog pose. So it's going to be standing. If your knees are really not happy with frog pose, you can do frog on your back. And even if your knees are happy and you just feel like you want to relax there, you can try frog on your back. So it's up to you. Either come to stand or come onto your backs. If you're standing, you're going to bring your heels toward each other as your toes, as your toes move out. You're going to come down into a bit of a squat. Your heels are going to come up. You're going to be on your toes with your hands on the floor, and you're just going to press into the floor, straighten your legs, look at your knees, come back down. If you're on your back, you got it, Margie. You're doing that beautifully. Just do that a few times. Frog pose is a pose that brings all of the bodies and all of the chakras into balance. So when you come down, you want to be looking forward. And when you come up, you want to look at your knees. There you go. All right, wherever you are, 5 more times. And then you're going to come to stillness in a squat. If you're on your feet. And then kind of a happy baby pose if you're on your back. Yep. And then if you are in your squat, you're going to let your heels come to the floor, plant your hands, come up into a forward fold. Plant your hands, bend your knees a lot. Step 1 foot back and then the other. Let your knees come to the floor. Make your way onto your backs. And just for a moment, join Margie in happy baby pose. And when you feel ready, you can let yourself sink into Shavasana. We're going to take a 5-minute Shavasana, and then we're going to close with a beautiful Laya Yoga meditation, which is also part of this Kriya. So when you're ready, let your legs float down and come into Shavasana. Begin to deepen your breath, bringing movement to your fingers and to your toes. Bring your knees into your chest. Maybe sway from side to side a little. And then as the palms of the hands and the soles of the feet come together, rub, connecting to that amazing flow of energy within. And bringing those knees into the chest one more time, rocking up and down on the spine. We'll meet at a seat. I'm going to do a Laya Yoga meditation. So the chant is Ekonkara Satanama Siriwa Hey Guru. This is one of my favorite meditations. What you're going to do is you're going to imagine energy spiraling up your chakras as you chant, and your navel is going to, every time you go, your navel's going to pop up and back. And so, Ekonkara, you're going to imagine a circle spiraling up to your navel point. Then Satanama, the spiral comes up through the throat. Siriwaha, third eye. Hey Guru, the energy moving through the crown. And so you're going to be doing that in your mind, a little jump of the navel with each ah. I'm going to play a chant. Sound good? We're good? Okay. Here we go. Couldn't find the version on my Yogi iTunes that I wanted, but this one I think is good. Let's see. Your hands are going to be in Gyan Mudra, resting palms up on your knees. Get ready. Eyes closed, focus at the third eye. That's where it's coming. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Pause in silence. Bring your palms together at your heart. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Please join me in sealing our practice with a long Sat Nam. Deep, deep inhale. Sa Nam. Sliding your thumbs up to the space between your brow, dropping your chin into your own beautiful heart. Be loved, believe, be true to you. Satnam.